I think we're good. So how is everyone doing tonight? So happy to have you here. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Javier Carlin. I'm a physical therapist and the co-founder of Healthcare Business University with my better half, Marissa Case, who's a registered dietitian. And tonight we are going to talk about how to sell without selling. Now, before we dive into it, let me know if you are live right now with us. Say hello in the chat. Let's see who we have here. So we have Sandy in the house. Hey, Sandy. So good to see you. We have Helen. Hey, Helen. Good to see you as well. Let's see. Katrine. So good to see you. Megan. Awesome. If you are here and you haven't said hello yet, please say hello in the chat so that I know you're here. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and comment #replay. Now, here's what's cool about this, okay? What's cool about this is that sales is all about serving. And so what you're able to do by commenting down below and being really engaged is not just actually ingrain this information, because I'm going to go deep tonight, okay, in your own mind, but you're actually also able to help other people in this community, because when you comment, when you engage, when you share your aha moments, other people are like, what's going on here? I got to join the party. So then they come and watch this video as well. And if they learn how to sell without selling, if they feel good about sales like you're about to feel good about sales, then guess what? You're able to help more people and they're able to help more people. So let's help people together. Are you guys with it? Comment with it in the chat. Yes? All right, beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get this party started. Cool? All right, here we go. Close. Boom, there we are. So tonight we're going to cover how to sell without selling. Now, let's be honest here. How many of you, a part of you knows that you don't like sales too much? For how many of you on here right now, do you know that a part of you does not like sales? Go ahead and put guilty in the chat. Put guilty in the chat. To be quite honest, I didn't like it either in the beginning. Okay. Now, how many of you also know that sales is super important for you to be able to help a lot of people and for you to be able to grow your business? Say, I know in the chat if you also know that. Okay. Because the truth of the matter is that, like you just mentioned, right, it is important. And it also has a bad rap. And if we do it the wrong way, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for anybody. Okay. So is it okay if with you tonight, I share with you some high level strategies and tactics that you can use in your own sales process so you can feel much better about the sales process and also have the other person in front of you also feel good about it? Is that cool? Yes? All right, beautiful. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Who do we have in the house? We have Brianna, we've got Summer, we've got Danielle. So good to see every single one of you. Leah, we got a full house today. I love it. I love it. And for those of you that stay till the end, if you want these slides, I'll also give you an opportunity to get these slides, okay? How many of you would love to have these slides from the presentation given to you tonight? Go ahead and comment slides if you would love that, okay? Beautiful. So let's dive in. Now, here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal, banana peel. This is the old way of sales, okay? This is the old way of selling, okay? And this right here is what people despise, okay? It's like an image. And if one of you has a family member, significant other who's a car salesperson, right? Not all of them are like this, but it's just like the image that we see sometimes in our mind, right? And to be honest, this is not what it's about, because most people think that sales is slimy and greedy and all of this because of the association that we have to people who are trying to quote unquote sell us things, right? And typically we see the person who is negotiating with us and trying to sell us this thing and trying to, in our mind, they're trying to get more money from us, right? And that's typically what the salesperson that we experience in our life is like, right? And it just doesn't feel good. And this is the wrong way of doing it. And some people still use some of those tactics that are aggressive. They're, selling through the DMs, being, cold. And it's just not what we do. Okay. And that's the old way of doing it. Now, the new way of doing it looks like this. Okay. These are all clients that I've worked with who have paid me thousands of dollars to work with me as a physical therapist. Okay. Now, can you guys see how happy all of these people are? Put happy in the chat if you can see their smiling faces. Okay. The fact of the matter is that all of these people here paid me money. Okay. They paid me a lot of money. And now these people had their lives changed. For example, Katie Dodd with a little unicorn on her head. Okay. Katie is a runner. She wasn't able to run for about a year. We got her back to doing ultra marathons, running almost 100 miles. Okay. And this is me at one of their events, right? Also helping their people. Okay. That's what it looks like. All right. In the middle, we have another one of our patients, okay, with my team there, and she has a happy, smiling face. She was paying about $100 a visit, okay, for the copay. And she was happy. She was happy that her hip wasn't hurting anymore, and now she could do all the things that she wanted to do. On the right-hand side there, helmet, smiling. This is actually one of our other patients who was with us for 2 years because she wanted to improve her ability to run and do things at a higher level. And she came to my first and last 10K, okay? And she came to watch. And how awesome is that, right? And in the bottom there, someone else that just, complete 180 from working with us, okay? So this is what sales actually should look like. And when this happens, both parties are happy, okay? Can you see that? Yes? How cool is that? Now, here's the deal, all right? We have to learn how to sell to serve. Go ahead and put sell to serve in the chat. Okay, put sell to serve in the chat. This is super important here. Okay, I'm going to show you the tactics and the strategies and how we actually do this. But even before that, we have to have the right mindset going into it. You guys get that, right? If we don't shift our mindset first, then none of anything else that I'm about to show you matters, right? Makes sense. So with that said, here's what I believe sales is. Okay, sales is your moral obligation. Yes, that is me. And yes, that's me in a unicorn little thing and a cape. Okay. This is a foundation called Girls on the Run that we sponsored. And essentially what they do is empower young girls, right, with habits like running to live better lives. Okay. And I just love everything about it. So I did put on a cape on and a unicorn to be a part of this foundation and go all in. So your moral obligation. Okay. Here's what this means. If you are a healthcare professional, it's likely because you got into it to help people, right? And your moral obligation means this. If you have something good that can save, literally save, right? Because many of you as healthcare professionals, dietitians, nutrition coaches, healthcare professionals as a whole, right, have the ability to save people's lives. Think about it, right? At those extremes, people with diabetes and other conditions, right? These people can shorten their life if they don't get what they need to get taken care of. If nothing else, you are able to transform someone's life. Go ahead and put transform in the chat. Okay, transform someone's life, help them get more energy, more confidence, help them develop better relationships, make more money because they have more energy, get more promotions, right? All these things you're able to do in someone's life. Agreed? Right? Pretty cool. Now, you have a moral obligation that if you can do that for someone, which every single one of you can, you have a moral obligation to do everything in your power to get it into their hands. Okay? Now, there's a way to do that and a way to do it that feels good. Okay, but that is your moral obligation. Just like for me and Marissa, our moral obligation is to give you this valuable information. Whether you work with us or not, obviously when you work with us, we take you to the next level faster, but we want to give you this information so you can go out there and help more people. Okay, so your moral obligation. Now, the second thing we have to realize is the amount of money in your bank account right now is a direct reflection of the number of lives that you have touched and helped with your solutions. Okay. I wrote that quote, so I'm going to quote myself. All right. So I'll repeat that. The amount of money in your bank account is a direct reflection of the number of lives you have touched and helped with your solutions. We have to get right with money before we learn the strategies and tactics, okay? Now, how many of you know that you deserve to make more money because you're in it to help people? Go ahead and put, I deserve it. I deserve it. Okay, once you do that, we'll go on to the next slide because you do. You do. Okay, so the more money that you make, the more that is a direct reflection of the number of people that you have helped. Makes sense, right? It makes sense, complete sense. Because if you have a business or wanting to have a business, the only way you can help someone is through an exchange of money. So the more money you have, the more people you've helped, right? 100%. Cool. So here's how to sell without selling. You have to remember this. And I know some of you, all right, some of you are not going to feel good about this. You're going to be like, dang, Javi, like, I'm amazing. My product and my program is amazing. What do you mean? Okay. Here, you are amazing, and your product and your programs and your services are great. Much better than what people are getting at the hospital or in any other setting. I agree with you. Okay. But no one cares. Ultimately, no one cares about your shiny product. When you start to talk about your products, your programs, and how much they are, and all the things that people are going to get, and all these different components, there's a time and place for that. But when that's what you lead with, and you try to push people your product, that's where it becomes salesy. That's where it becomes slimy. That's where it becomes icky, right? Because we need to remember this. I want you to write this down, okay? You have to be a problem solver, not a product pusher. Write this in the chat. I need to be a problem solver, not a product pusher. I'll repeat that one last time. You guys getting this? Yes? I need to become a problem solver, not a product pusher. All right, you guys got it? Because again, no one cares about your shiny product. Think about this, okay? If I were to say, hey, let's see, who do we have? Let's say Leah, Katrine, Patrick. If I were to say Sarah, Kim, Melissa, Dina, I'm going to go ahead and put you in this plane, okay? This plane is going to have about 200 people in there. There's going to be someone that sits next to you that breathes heavily, and you're going to be right in the middle, okay? And in this plane, they're going to tell you about how there might be an emergency. You have to learn how to save your own life. And you're going to have peanuts and not really any good food. But it's okay because, you're also going to have this little headrest that you can kind of lean your head back and take a little nap if you'd like. Right. And, that's, how does that sound? Does that sound like what you want? No, that's not what you want at all. Right. What you do want is this. If I say, hey, Bailey, how would you like to be in Hawaii right now? How would you like to be on the road to Hana? How would you like to spend some time on the beach with your significant other, right? Just relaxing, laying down, watching the beautiful sunset right in front of your face. Right? How would you love to be inside of the ocean, right? Without a care in the world, with the people that you love most? How does that sound now? Doesn't that sound, which one sounds better? One, the plane, or two, Hawaii? Which one sounds better? One, the plane, or two, Hawaii? Go ahead and put a 1 or 2 in the chat. Let's make this very simple. 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Okay. So here's what many people do. Many people, the reason that they're doing things the old way, the way that things don't work, is they're actually trying to push the plane. They're trying to push the product. No one cares about the plane. They only care about this. They only care about their destination. They only care about their destination. To Hawaii. Of course, Hawaii. By the way, that's where we're going for our honeymoon in about a month. So super excited about that. But you get it, right? That makes sense. Now, most people try and do the opposite, right? They try to sell a plane. Don't do that. That's not good, okay? So 2 things here. No one cares about your shiny product, and no one cares about you. I care about you, but no one else does. And what I mean by that is this, okay? What I mean by that is that people ultimately don't care about the certifications you have, the degrees that you have or don't have, right? I have a doctorate in physical therapy. Most of you don't even know that, right? You don't care about that. It's cool, right? Whatever, it's fine. But that's not the qualification that I need to have to be able to help you with this, right? Doesn't matter. So remember this, okay? People only care about themselves. So make it all about them. And number two, their destination. I'll repeat that. They only care about themselves. So make it all about them and their destination. Is this helpful so far? If this has been helpful so far, go ahead and put a big yes in the chat. Yes? Okay, beautiful. So who's up for the client enrollment process? How many of you would like to see our step-by-step process to getting people to turn to clients? If you would, say, let me see it in the chat. Say, let me see it in the chat. Let's see, Dr. Carlin. Yeah, that's me. Got the degrees, right? Got the t-shirt. And I tell you, people don't care. People don't care. Okay, yes. All right, beautiful. So here it is, okay? It's going to be overly simplistic, and many of you are still not going to do it for whatever reason, okay? For whatever reason. But here it is, okay? Here's the path. Number one, we have a discovery call. Number two, a solutions call. Number three, you must take payment. You have to take payment. Number four, we're going to send the forms. And number five, schedule your first appointment. I'm going to break these down for you in a moment, okay? Now, before I do that, the start to the discovery call, which I did not mention before, is an inbound lead, an inbound prospect, someone that has given you permission to engage, someone that has said, hey, I'm interested in what you have to offer, someone that says, hey, I've joined your group, your community, got your lead magnet, I got something from you, and I'm interested in potentially hearing about what you have to offer, okay? That is a starting point. That is not cold DMing, right? That there's a time and place for that, but that's not what we do, okay? We want to make sure that the lines of engagement have been opened before we engage. Make sense? So I'm not going to cover that in depth right now. We have full scripts and templates and ways and trainings on that. But right now I want to go over this path here. So once you've done that and you've offered to jump on a quick call with someone, this is where this process begins, okay? So it starts with a discovery call. Now, what is the first thing that you do? Okay, let's say you were, I don't know, has anyone gone to physical therapy before, called a doctor's office? Have you ever done that before? So if you have, when you call, who answers the phone, right? Typically the front desk, someone at the front, okay? And what do? They honestly do a terrible job at it, but on that first call, they get your information, they find out a little bit more about you, and then they set you up for the next visit, right? This is what this call is. This discovery call here is basically a quick 15 to 20 minute call where you're essentially learning more about the person that you are looking to help. And you're figuring out, can I actually help this person? Okay. Does my solution, fit this person's needs? And if it sounds like we might be able to help them, then we move them into the next step. Okay. So this is the qualification process. And it also helps you to build more know, like, and trust and more rapport. And think about it, right? By adding more steps in between, can't you start to realize that, hey, these people are not trying to sell me something right off the bat, right? They're actually getting to know me and my business more. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but the results are much better because you only work with people who you can help. And if they get to that second step, then you can help them. Or you tell them, hey, listen, based on where you're at, I don't think I can help you, and you point them somewhere else. It's a very authentic way of getting to know someone, building a relationship, and then deciding, hey, should we move on to the next step in the relationship? Should I take you out to that second date, right? Or not? Okay? So that's the first step. Do not skip this step. Many people, a lot of people out there don't do this. Either they skip it or they haven't had it taught to them. And I can tell you right now, this is destroying businesses and your ability to help people. Okay, if you're not doing this. So add this in somehow. I don't care if you're cash-based. I don't care if you're insurance, especially if you're insurance-based. This is even more important, okay? So because people aren't bought in. They're not paying anything or very little. So you have to have this step, okay? So again, this was an actual training inside of our one of our coaching programs. So that's why it says there, for more in-depth information about the discovery call and script for this, refer to our discovery video training. That's for our program. Okay, step number 2 is the solutions call. This is your deep dive solutions call. This is where you dig in a little bit deeper. You find out, okay, where are you at? What are your needs? Okay, what is it that you actually need help with? What are some of your goals? And can I actually help you get there? And if they're interested in hearing about how you could possibly help them, you're plain, okay? Only then do you break down your plan to them, your process, your product, okay? That's the only time you do it. When they say, yes, I would like to hear about it, okay? So this is where you present your offer, and then they gave you a decision. Sometimes it's a yes, right? I'm in, let's do it. I want you to help me get to, Hawaii. And sometimes out of fear, out of lack of certainty, out of lack of clarity, out of thinking about all the bad things that could happen, as opposed to all the bad things that could happen if they don't do that, right? The cost of inaction. Most people, unless we bring it to their awareness, are concerned about the money. Oh, I put, $3,000 down. The money's going to be gone. Not knowing that the money is going to come back a week from now. You just go to work and make some more money. Easy, right? The real cost for people is the cost of inaction. What happens if they don't do this? How much money, how many people are they going to miss out on helping, right? The people that you're serving, what happens if your people don't move forward with you? Give me the worst case scenario for the people that you help. What's going to happen a year from now if they don't do anything? What can happen to their health, their life, their energy, their confidence, their relationships? Give it to me. Put it in the chat. What is it? What is it? Okay. That's the worst case scenario. So we have to get people to see that and understand that as much as we can. So on this call, they'll tell you yes or no, dependent on that, right? There's obviously higher level stuff that we have to, know and ask and do on these calls to help people move forward. But that's like the foundation. Okay. Is this making sense so far? Before I move forward on to the next step, is this making sense so far? Before I move forward, put yes, it's making sense. Or if you have questions, please ask your questions now and I'll get to them at the end. Okay, cool. Awesome. So step number 3, how many of you have gotten on a call before, not taken payment after someone said yes, and then that person ghosted you, or that person has either ghosted you or said, hey, never mind, I don't want to work with you anymore? Has that happened to you before? Let me know in the chat. If it has, it's because of this. You must take payment on the call. Everything in your power to take payment on the call for multiple reasons. Okay. You have to lock in their commitment on the sales call. If you do not get off the phone without taking payment or asking for payment. Okay. Because many people, unless you ask for the payment, are not going to give you objections. They'll say, yes, this is great. Can you send me the link to sign up? Or can you go ahead and let me know, send me some information so I can go ahead and look at it and sign up, right? And then you say, yeah, that's great. And then you get off the phone and they don't buy, okay? You have to ask someone for the payment and take the payment on the phone, because here's what happens, okay? Here's what happens. If people have too much time to think about things, what does our mind get fogged up with? All the bad things that could happen if we put some money into something, right? Our mind, our brain is naturally going to look for all the things that are wrong, because its only purpose is for us to survive. So naturally, the more time we give someone to think, the more time we give ourselves to think, our brain's going to go to all of the negative things and all the reasons why we shouldn't do something. So the best thing that you can do for you and your clients is help them make a decision now. Help them make a decision when? That's right. Go ahead and put now in the chat. Now. Okay. This ensures that you get paid, and or if they have objections, that you can discuss it with them over the phone. Hey, I totally get that you can't afford it right now. That's why most people actually can't afford this. And what they do instead is they actually break it up into payment plans. Do you feel like that would be helpful for you? Absolutely. Great. Most people actually use credit cards or PayPal credit, or take the money out of their retirement account, because you can do that, right? Most people take out a loan to start their business, right? These are all things that we can have a conversation with people about to show them how they can find the money. Everyone has the money, right? Think about that. We live in the most abundant planet, right? Abundant country on earth, okay? We can get money from anywhere. We just have to help people realize that. Can you guys see that? Yes? Okay. So taking payment over the phone is a normal part of business. Think about this now, okay? I need you to think about this. Taking payment over the phone is a normal part of business. If you were to, let's say you move into a new home, right? You didn't have Wi-Fi and you called, what's your cable company? So we have Spectrum here. There's a bunch of different ones. What's your cable company? Put it in the chat. Okay. So you call them and you say, hey, I would love for you to come to my home and set up Wi-Fi because I really need the internet so I can help some people online, right? Okay. And so they say, yes, we'll send someone there. All we need is what? All we need is a what? Credit card. I need to go ahead and put your credit card on file. It's going to be $100 a month. And that way we can go ahead and turn your internet on. 100% happens all the time. Right. Even this one. Think about this one. You call a restaurant for delivery or takeout, right? You say, hey, I want this, this, and this. And they say, hey, would you like the salad too? That's sales. Yes, I would love the salad. Actually, thank you for reminding me. Okay. And then they ask you, great, where do I deliver it? What's your phone number? Awesome. And what's your credit card? Is that not normal? Put normal part of business. Just put normal in the chat. Yes. So normal. So we have to understand that and be okay with it. I promise you, most people are not growing their business because they're not asking for the payment. Okay. So I need you to promise me from now on, no matter how uncomfortable or how scary it feels, I want you to say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in the chat. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to run through these next ones pretty quickly because I have to go soon. And don't forget, if you stay on till the end, I'm going to get you these slides. Okay. Just wait a minute. Okay. So step number 4. And has this been valuable so far? If it has, go ahead and put valuable in the chat. Put valuable in the chat. So step 4, send forms. Okay. Congratulate the person on making the commitment. Once they have said yes, explain what types of forms you'll be sending them and explain the next steps they should take. Get them thinking about the next steps because there are next steps, right? The forms could be your contract, client agreement, have them sign it as soon as possible. You could even have them sign it on the call with you. That's totally fine. And send them their initial assessment form. Recommend sending this to them and explaining that it should be filled out and sent back to you no less than 24 hours prior to their first appointment. Okay, you guys getting this? Okay, so that's what we want to do next. And then step 5 is schedule their first appointment. Right? Don't get off the call without taking a payment and then scheduling their first appointment because people have to think about the future. Where am I going next? What's happening next? Right? Where am I getting that help? So schedule your initial assessment, solidify a date and time, and enter it into your calendar or scheduling software. Do it on the phone. Okay? Do it on the phone. Get them to tell you when they can schedule their first appointment, and then remind them to complete and submit their initial assessment form at least 24 hours before their initial assessment appointment so you can hit the ground running on your first visit. Okay, that is step number 5. Now, here is where I want you to ask me some questions. So as you're asking me questions about this process, anything that's come up for you, whether it's the mindset piece, the sales process, the system, anything that comes up, I'm going to stay around for maybe a couple minutes. So get those questions in. While you ask those questions, I want to send an invitation to every single one of you. Well, not every single one of you, just a few of you who might be interested in getting some more help with not just your sales process, but starting and growing your business and taking it to the next level so you can really help more people, make more money, and be able to escape the 9-to-5 or get to those 6-figure years. Okay. If that is you, then all you have to do is type the word game plan in the chat right now. With that word game plan, what we're going to do is going to jump on a 15-minute game plan call. It's a clarity call. There's actually nothing to buy on this call. So even if you wanted to invest in our programs, you can. Okay. This call is simply for me to get to know you better. Okay. Find out where you're at, where you're trying to go. We literally tell people that we don't recommend them working with us for X amount of time if they're not ready yet. Okay. Because we only work with specific people. Okay. So all this to say, it's going to help you gain clarity on what your next step should be. And I can point you to other resources in the group or somewhere else as needed. Okay. So comment the word game plan down below and I'll reach out to you. We'll figure out a time to get together and have a quick conversation over the phone. Cool. Awesome. So with that said, here's how you get the slides. Okay. Here's how you get the slides. I want you, okay, lovely community members. I would love for you to, in the group, okay, in the group, I want you to make a post and just let people know, hey guys, I was a part of this training today on how to sell without selling. And this was my number one takeaway. And this is why I recommend you go watch it. What this is going to do, it's going to help other people in the group, all 1,800 people, be like, oh my goodness, I got to watch this training. And in that, think about this, right? The ripple effect and the impact that you have on all these hundreds of thousands of people if people got this. You guys agree this was good, right? Imagine everyone else being able to get access to this as well to help more people. You can be a part of that. All you have to do is make that post in the group, say, I just finished watching the How to Sell Without Selling training, and this was my number one takeaway, and I highly recommend you watch it because of this. Okay, you do that. Once I see that post come up, just send me a message and I'll get you the slides. Is that fair? Is that fair? Awesome. So I see some questions come rolling in, so I'm going to go ahead and answer them, and then I got to hop off. Okay, we got a monthly goal setting call today, so let's see. How is the discovery call different than the solution call? Great question, Jessica. So Jessica asked, how is a discovery call different than the solution call? Good question. So the discovery call, very short breakdown, is 15 minutes. The solutions call is 45. The discovery call, you don't talk about anything about your program, anything about the price. It is simply to see, can I even help this person? Because if you don't even know if you can help this person, then why are we going to present them an offer and talk about the program? It doesn't make sense, right? That's the difference. Discovery call, qualify, see if you can help someone. And then solutions call is dig deeper, figure out what the transformation is that they want. And from there, we ask them, hey, I think I can help you. Would you like to see what we have to offer? They say yes, and you show them. Okay, that's the difference. Hopefully that was helpful. How many times to talk to someone? What is the limit if they do not buy? Kim, great question. Great question. So going back to your moral obligation, I don't stop following up with people until they tell me to F off, because I want to really help people. So if you're in this group, if you're watching this right now, live or on the replay, and you've been watching us for a year, maybe 3 months, maybe 2 months, and you've ever told me no before, okay, it's very likely that I've reached back out to you to see how you're doing, because I really want to help you, and I know we can help you. And I'm not going to stop until you tell me to F off, okay? Because I really want to help you, right? So hopefully that answers your question. I don't stop following up until someone says, like, stop, don't talk to me anymore, never want to see you again, okay? Because I want to help people. And so many of you I followed up with, and you tell me, hey, I'm doing great, or hey, I'm not doing so hot, but I still am not ready to invest. And that's totally fine, right? We're good. It's just, whenever that person is ready. So that's all to say that for every single one of you, don't be scared of following up, because it actually shows you care. That's the opposite of sleazy and slimy, where you try and sell someone something, they say no, so it's like, oh, whatever, well, I'm not going to talk to you ever again. That's salesy, because you were just in it for the sale. Whereas if you follow up and show that you really care about people and how they're doing in their life, right, that's more authentic. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, makes sense, right? Yeah, so a little bit of persistence, but more so wanting to serve people. Yeah. Cool. Let's see. Also, most especially women don't spend money on themselves, especially when they have children. Yeah, maybe that's the tie-in, right? Maybe they have to think about their children more and how them being healthy is going to be able to take care of their children. So that's something that we can dive into. Yes, Megan, sales call is a solutions call. Awesome. Yeah, beautiful. So I don't see any other questions, but I hope this was helpful. And go ahead, again, to get the slides, make that post inside of the Business Growth Secrets group, make that post so other people can see it too. And again, if you are interested in having a conversation, just go ahead and comment the word game plan, and we'll go ahead and message you with that. Okay. Hope you have a great rest of your night. See you next week. Take care. Bye.